My name is Larry Devlin. I graduated the class of 1972, Waltham High School. I live in Brookline, New Hampshire, just over the line from Massachusetts above Townsend on Route 13. Well, I made the mistake of going into the entertainment world. And when I got out of Waltham High School, I went to the University of Massachusetts and got my degree in theater and mathematics. In 1979, I went back to teach at Waltham High School for 1 year, was riffed, and then after the blizzard of 78 and 79 came, I went to San Francisco. And in San Francisco, I started a theater company called the Haight-Ashbury Repertory Theater. I was the artistic director and founder of that company. To this day, it is now known as Somart Theater. It still survives. I spent most of my time as either a director in theater or as a lighting designer, and I've done rock and roll, and I did the Dewey Brothers and the Allman Brothers and all that, and I ran spotlights and designed lights over the years for numerous colleges and theaters and what have you. And then about 10 years ago, I started doing regional theater, building sets as opposed to just doing lighting for them, and kind of gave up directing because it doesn't pay. But my paying job has always been theater. And then about 3 years ago, I started making sets for the movies. And I've done that for about 2 years now until Patrick sent the movies away. So the past couple of years, I've just done mostly theater, and I do a lot of lighting things and whatnot, and that's pretty much the path that I took. Football practice. I recall that playing for Coach Kopp, and we were supposed to be the team to beat, but unfortunately we did not have a great season, and Coach Kopp bailed on us by the end of it. And we had a lot of injuries that year, but I do remember a lot of the guys that I played with and had an enjoyable time playing. Almost everybody that I went to school with, we had a lot of fun. I did a lot of fun doing theater myself. I enjoyed being a part of the whole high school experience, as it turns out for me. Just what else do I remember from high school? Mostly doing theater, and the opportunity that presented me as far as the Regal players were concerned. That was really a launching pad for me and what I enjoyed doing as a kid, even though I couldn't stand Eagle. I also I befriended a few teachers because obviously I went back and taught from there. And one of the things that I've done over the years is I'm a tournament card player, and I'm a tournament card player with a former teacher we all had, George Vines. And George and I have won some major tournaments on the East Coast over the years, and we are known as vicious and ruthless bridge players. I stayed in Waltham for a number of years, living here for the most part, up until about '89. And then I went into Cambridge and Boston area and lived in there for a number of years. And of course I went out to California, and I've been out there twice. I lived in Los Angeles for a little while in 2002. And since I've come home from that venture, I've lived in New Hampshire, mostly Nashua and Brookline. George Vines, despite the fact that he was not a very liked teacher, he turned my life around. I have to say that he made a phone call to my parents that turned my life completely around, because I used to sleep in class every day. And then also he was a phenomenal card player, and that was one thing that I have just enjoyed my whole life, is the ability to play cards. And he has remained a very close friend of mine through the years, despite the fact that he was not, like I say, he was not enjoyed as a teacher, and more often than not when people hear his name, they have bad things to say, but he's always been a very good friend of mine. I also remember Karen DeMauro, who is my drama teacher, who I just recently reconnected with, as it turns out, through the magic of Facebook. I remember Ira Steinberg. He was a character, and as an English teacher, I recall him. Robert Eagle, I suppose I have to mention good old Bob, because Bob was very instrumental in starting the Regal Plays, of which I was a founding member, and he initially started me off in my theater career. I really enjoy seeing everybody after all these years, and oddly enough, I think about those days and wonder what everybody's doing, and I just hope that everybody's okay, and that God has blessed you all as He's blessed me.